Food is one of the most important factors propelling human survival and global economy. Under globalization, scientific and technological process, the change in population structure and the ways of life, and the concern for the limitation of natural resources determine the future of global food industry. In consequence, entrepreneurs who seek opportunities and are able to manage these risks and factors efficiently to increase the value of food products will become the leader of global food industry. Thailand is one of the global leaders in food industry due to abundance and proficiency in natural resources, labor, knowledge, and transportation. Moreover, the country is the focal point of Southeast Asia, a gateway to Asia and a significant food market of the world. Therefore, Thailand is an ideal place to invest in food innovation business that will change the world's gastronomy. The missions of National Innovation Agency, Public Organization, Ministry of Science and Technology as the National Innovation System Integrator and the propeller of Startup Thailand. The co-relating vision of Thai Union Group Public Company Limited, the Thai company that has become the leader in global seafood industry in seeing the opportunities and the significance in food innovation and the food tech startups, and a collaboration with Faculty of Science Mahidol University. These all benefit the trilateral partnership in organizing Space F Food Tech Incubator and Accelerator Program under the slogan Feeding the World Through Innovation. Located in the heart of Bangkok, precisely the area of Yoti Medical Innovation District, or YMID, Space F is easily accessed by sky trains from the airports and connects to many prominent destinations in Bangkok. Together with efficient infrastructure, Space F has become an ideal place for developing innovation and startup business. Space F is a hub to nurture and boost the growth of food tech startups with deep technology. Space F is a hybrid program comprises incubation and acceleration programs in order to develop deep tech startups in 9 categories, including health and wellness, alternative proteins, smart manufacturing, packaging solution, novel food and ingredients, biomaterials and chemicals, restaurant tech, food safety and quality, smart food services. The 1,000 square meter space has been partitioned into co-working space, office space, meeting and conference rooms, and food innovative maker space. Necessary equipment and amenities will also be provided to the startups participating in the programs. Space F will be an important platform in building new generation of key economic players who will contribute to positive change in global value chain of global food industry, which will draw investment and employment and maximize the value of global economy and society sustainably. Space F, feeding the world through innovation.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press. My name is Hani Cholapansanarula, your host, and it gives me great delight to welcome you to Space F Batch 3 Accelerator Demo Day. So I hope all of you are having a fantastic time so far. Before we begin, allow me to give you a little bit of a background of this program. Space F is the first global food tech startup incubator and accelerator in Thailand that brings together leading food tech startups and corporates through an innovative mentorship, business connections, and collaboration. This program has been co-founded by the National Innovation Agency, NIA, public organization. We have Thai Union Group, Public Company Limited, and Mahidol University. But for this time, the third batch, we have Thai Beverage Public Company Limited as partner with the support of Deloitte. This cooperation, ladies and gentlemen, was formed to elevate the capability of food tech startups, both in Thailand and across the world, to grow and revolutionize the food industry. One of the ways that the program can actually support is through providing exposure and opportunities like today, so startups can pitch to a room full of potential business partners and investors. So today, specifically, you'll be witnessing 8 promising startup teams who will be presenting their business plans and also exciting innovations. Now, these teams have been through the 5-month program that is aimed to accelerate their business, to scale up their business, to get traction, to build networks, and also to secure investments. So it's going to be a very exciting afternoon indeed. เอาล่ะค่ะทุกท่านค่ะก็ขอต้อนรับทุกท่านเข้าสู่บรรยากาศงาน Space F Batch 3 Accelerator Demo Day นะคะวันนี้ก็ถือว่าเป็นโอกาสที่ยอดเยี่ยมทุกท่านจะได้พบกับสุดยอดสตาร์ทอัพ 8 ทีมสายฟู้ดเทคนะคะซึ่งก็ได้มีการผ่านเข้ารอบในโครงการ Space F Accelerator Batch 3 นั่นเองนะคะซึ่งตลอดระยะเวลา 5 เดือนที่ผ่านมานั้นก็ได้มีการเข้าร่วมหลักสูตรต่างๆมากมายนะคะเพื่อเป็นการยกระดับมีการเร่งสปีดแล้วก็เปิดโอกาสในการสร้างเครือข่ายการเติบโตทางธุรกิจนะคะผ่านกิจกรรมที่ปรึกษาแบบ one on one ตัวต่อตัวแล้วก็ยังมีการรับคำแนะนำจากผู้เชี่ยวชาญรวมไปถึงพาร์ทเนอร์ระดับประเทศอีกด้วยนะคะจนผ่านการคัดเลือกเข้าสู่รอบ Demo Day ก็คือวันนี้นั่นเองค่ะเวทีนี้ก็เลยเปรียบเสมือนเป็นเวทีที่ให้โอกาสสำคัญนะคะที่เหล่าธุรกิจสตาร์ทอัพนั้นจะมีการนำเสนอผลิตภัณฑ์นวัตกรรมและบริการต่างๆค่ะเพื่อตอบโจทย์การเติบโตในอุตสาหกรรมอาหารนะคะภายใต้คอนเซปต์แนวคิด Feeding the World through Innovation เอาล่ะค่ะตอนนี้ก็พร้อมแล้วนะคะที่จะพาทุกท่านเข้าสู่บรรยากาศงานค่ะ Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to begin, I'd now like to invite our first guest of honor to give the official welcoming and opening remarks. So please put your hands together to welcome Dr. Panat Thairat, Executive Director of National Innovation Agency Public Organization. A big round of applause, please.
Sawasdeeเรียนคุณธีรพงษ์จันทร์ศิริ President and CEO of Thai Union Group คุณต้องใจธนชานันท์ Senior Vice President and Chief Sustainable Business Development of Thai Beverage PLC Professor Dr. Pattarachai Kiratisin Vice President for Research of Mahidol University Dr. Naren Chuti Jirawong, Executive Directors of Deloitte Thailand, distinguished guests, startup founders and friends. I would like to welcome our old friends back and connect with our new friends of SpaceF ecosystem, the first global startup food tech incubator and accelerators in Southeast Asia, SpaceF. Food sector is one of the strengths of Thailand innovation system with a clear competitive advantage globally. It is my honor to share with you how happy I am to see the progress and evolution of the food tech startup ecosystem in Bangkok. This initiative is growing continuously. When we first kicked off the programs 3 years ago, there were 3 partners working with us: Thai Union as a private sector partner, Mahidol Universities as academic partner, and national innovation agencies as public sector partners. At the end of 2019, the world started to face with COVID-19 crisis, followed by a lockdown in major cities all around the world in following years. July marked a very important time for us for two reasons. We extended our partnership with two leading enterprises, Thai Beverage and Deloitte, to work together closely with one common goal, which is to build a strong and solid Thai food tech startup ecosystem. We announced our new vision to make Bangkok as food tech Silicon Valleys of the world through this solid private-public partnership. The latter will play a crucial role to boost up these cities of angel by leveraging its startup ecosystem to be on par with top startup cities of the world. NIA collaborate with BOI on Smart Visa with the objective to attract foreign experts to stay with more convenient in Thailand. Since 2018 until now, the number of Smart Visa applications, especially in startup type, rise to 500 applications, and there are 50 companies of Smart Visa holder who already registers the company in Thailand. Definitely the most popular landing area is in Bangkok and Chiang Mai. In 2021, NA held a series of town hall to probe our startup ecosystem in time of crisis. We launched Thailand Startup Ecosystem Report 2021 by demonstrating that there are 4 obstacles to conduct business of startup in the kingdom. This includes manpower readiness, source of funding, growth and scalability, and support by government partners. SpaceF, as the incubators and accelerators in deep food tech startups, has played a crucial role to develop the food tech scenes and investments for our startup Thailand universe. SpaceF already support 33 successful alumni from more than 13 countries. We have raised more than $6.8 million in the current batch. We have 16 promising startups joining us today with remarkable technologies and compelling products. The program is gaining more interest in Thailand and in the region as we incubate and accelerate successful food tech startups into the market and obtain more collaboration from more corporate partners. Today, you will have a chance to meet with our current batch of SpaceF startup and to experience their remarkable innovation. For this auspicious opportunity, I would like to invite you to be a part of our great mission, which is supporting startups by helping them achieve their goals and to propel Thailand to become a global food tech hub. As SpaceF ecosystem is continually expanding, we are always open to new partnerships and collaboration in our SpaceF Batch 4 program. We do really hope that you all be a part of our journeys and our expedition towards our ultimate goal. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณมากครับ
Ladies and gentlemen, the Executive Director of National Innovation Agency, Dr. Panat Chairat, thank you very much for the remarks that we hear the Executive Director of NIA emphasizing on the importance of the event to help advance the future of food and opportunities to grow beyond boundaries through innovation, and possibly that will help us realize the vision to be the food tech Silicon Valley of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are also very privileged to have the President and CEO of Thai Union with us. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Terro Chansiri, President and CEO of Thai Union Group Public Company Limited, on stage to deliver his remarks. Please.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today for the SpaceF Batch 3 Accelerator Demo Day. I'm very pleased to see so many of you here in person. It's my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guests and partners, NIA Executive Director, Mahidol University executives, executives from Thai Bev and Deloitte, members of the media, and distinguished guests. Over the past year, we have been emerging from the COVID crisis, and Thailand has reopened to the world. Despite this fantastic news, there are new challenges on the horizon with a looming food crisis due to the ongoing war in Ukraine, creating grain and fertilizer shortages. If there is one thing we have learned from the past crisis, is that these times create new and incredible opportunities, particularly when we question traditional approaches. Opportunities emerge as incentive and motivation change, leading to new collaboration that benefit society. Successful companies are those that question traditional approaches, identify emerging opportunities, and create novel solutions. Thai Union has weathered the storm through continued innovation and working with consumers to solve unmet needs with new products. We launched Civita, Thai Union Life Science Supplement brand, in the midst of the pandemic and have watched its growth to become a market leader. This showcases that even during challenging times, new products that solve the unmet needs of the consumer can be successful. SpaceF was established to build the food tech ecosystem by supporting the growth of innovative startups, and its members continue to support the startups after their graduation by providing opportunities for the startups to showcase their companies on the global stage. Thai Union and our partners continue to engage with SpaceF startup by investing time and energy in supporting them through their journey. We look forward to announcing our new program partners in the coming month. Through this support, alumni of the SpaceF program have shown their capacity to create opportunity from a crisis and have gone on to impact how the food industry conducts business. The startup showcased here today have refined their business cases, sharpened their pitches over the past 5 months, and will show how they can have an impact on the food industry. I have no doubt that the startup pitching today will go on to be successful in raising funds and entering the market, as you can already find some of their products on your local grocery store shelf. Please enjoy the upcoming presentation of the SpaceF Accelerator Batch 3 Startup. I'm sure you are as excited as I am to see what these young companies are working on as they shape the future of the food tech industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to the President and CEO of Thai Union Group Public Company Limited, Kun Thiraphong Chansiri, for sharing with us the trends of growth and some of the opportunities for entrepreneurs amidst the crisis, amidst the challenges in the era of borderless cooperation like today's world, which will help us provide a collaborative ecosystem for the food tech startups to scale their business. So once again, a special thanks extended to our guests of honor for the welcoming words, for your presence here today and declaring the opening of SpaceF Batch 3 Accelerator Demo Day. Next is an opportunity for the members of the press to interview our guest of honor. So we have arranged that for you at the backdrop outside. In just a few moments, we'll be leading the Executive Director of NIA, Dr. Panat Chairat, and also the President and CEO of Thai Union Group, Kun Thiraphong Chansiri, to the backdrop. เอาละค่ะในช่วงนี้นะคะก็เปิดโอกาสสำหรับท่านสื่อมวลชนที่อยากจะสัมภาษณ์นะคะท่านผู้บริหารของเราก็มีแบ็กดรอปด้านนอกนะคะอีกสักครู่เจ้าหน้าที่ของเราจะอำนวยความสะดวกให้ค่ะ All right, ladies and gentlemen, back to business. Before we get into the pitches, I'd like to introduce you to the panel of experts without whom the event today would not be complete. They'll be asking important questions and also be giving valuable comments to our startups. So our first expert is Kun Withawin Ithi Panuwat from Vertex Ventures. There he is. And our next expert is Kun O Chayut Chatu Nawarat. He is a senior investment manager at PTT Expresso. And our final expert today is Kun Ted Osa Krisana Thirapat from Creative Ventures. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. So, if you're ready, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to tell you a bit about the timing. Each team has about 7 minutes to present, and then we have 5 minutes allotted for Q&A. So, a total, the team will have 13 minutes. In the case you go over the 7 minutes, it will affect your Q&A segment. So do use your time wisely. Now, in order to let you know that time is running out, there will be a chime. So it sounds like this. Exactly, which means you have 60 seconds left. All right? So if you're ready, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Supposed to be excited. Okay, without further ado, I'd like to call upon the very first team to the stage. Please warmly welcome Potent.
Good morning. My name is Robert Lomnitz. I'm the Chief Investment Officer of Expedite Capital Partners, and I'm here to introduce you to Potent Fungi. Potent Fungi is a Chiang Mai, Thailand-based business focused on developing a range of extremely bioavailable, good tasting and functional products that are extracted from locally grown fungi, provide a variety of health-based functionality that is of growing interest to a health-conscious consumer base. It's been very interesting to see the company grow. We've experienced a number of challenges, particularly in supply chain disruption, but I believe that the company is really on a good track, has developed a range of extremely high quality products, and I believe that Adam and his team will see a great deal of success in the future.
Hello, I'm Adam Nicholas, CEO of Potent Mushroom Extracts. We make highly bioavailable mushroom extracts. We're now in the era of health consciousness, where people want to get natural, nutritious food that optimizes, heals, and protects their body. And that's why there's been a cultural shift towards fungi, because mushrooms have multiple benefits, and the cost of those benefits are very low, especially when you compare them to herbs. Take a look at here, red Korean ginseng, $100 per kilogram. And then take a look at lion's mane, $40 per kilogram. And look at the amount of benefits the lion's mane has in comparison to red Korean ginseng. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands of fungi, but there's 4 that I really want you to remember today. The first one is cordyceps. Cordyceps is exquisite. It gives you insane amounts of energy to get through the day. Reishi. Reishi helps you feel calm and relaxed and reduces the amount of time it takes to fall asleep. Snow fungus is often called the mushroom of beauty because it helps your skin to glow and upregulates the body's collagen production. And finally, my favorite is lion's mane, which helps you focus and concentrate throughout the day. And this is one reason why supplement demand is mushrooming. 77% of American adults consume mushroom supplements, spending on average around $56 per month. Last year, we saw a 300% increase in sales of mushroom-boosted products. And that is why market leaders all over the world are adopting mushrooms into their products and their formulas. But, and it's a huge but, the market is flooded with really poor quality extracts. An article in Nature Journal found that 75% of reishi mushroom supplements on the market didn't contain enough mushrooms to be called a mushroom supplement. That means no bioactives and no benefits. And as well as that, the mushroom supplements also taste really bad. There are pills, which are difficult to swallow. There are powders, which are bitter. There's mushroom coffee, which is also bitter. And then there's alcoholic tinctures, which is alcohol, and who wants to take alcohol throughout the whole working day? And that's where we come in. We have sugar-free, alcohol-free, great tasting, highly bioavailable mushroom extracts. We use an extraction method that gets a high amount of compound yield with a very low temperature. And this is really important because high temperatures denature the bioactive compounds. Our technique is also 10 times faster and really energy efficient. Our overall mission is to put mushrooms in front of as many people as possible. And that's why we have 4 product ranges. Our mushroom syrup is the first of its kind, first in the market. It allows you to add functional mushrooms into any drink you like. Cocktails, coffee, tea, smoothies, you name it. It's also sugar-free, which is different from coffee syrups, which have between 15 and 26 grams per dose of sugar. Our mushroom booster, which is trademarked, is a 3.5 milliliter ultra-potent shot of mushroom extract that can help you change your state or your mood. And our mushroom gummies are delicious as an alternative to pills, but don't contain any sugar. So our products fit 3 markets. The first is the nutritional gummy market, which is worth $42 billion and grew 75% last year. The second is the functional syrup market, worth $65 billion. And the third is the functional mushroom market. Our total serviceable addressable market is $12.7 billion in the USA alone. The functional syrup market is $1.6 billion. And then in the supplement section, we've got nootropics at $1.9 billion, beauty at $1.2 billion, immune at $6.5 billion, and calm and anxiety at $1.5 billion. Our go-to-market strategy is based on B2B, B2C, and D2C. With B2B, we'll be selling to coffee shops, wholesalers, and health food markets. B2B will be going through Amazon. Sorry, B2C will be going through Amazon. And D2C is direct from our website. In year 1, we're focusing solely on the USA and the UK. But in year 2, we will expand to Asia and Europe. Projections. So we're going to launch 8 SKUs over the next 12 months. Our margins are between 55 and 80%. Our gross profit, our net profit will be just under 200,000 for year 1 and 10 million in year 2. We're seeking 500,000 in 3 months' time for a 12-month runway. And we have a great team with a lot of depth in business all over the world, ranging from Amazon sales experts, who have won awards, to finance experts, formula design experts, and mycologists. Thank you very much for your time. I welcome your questions.
And now it's time for Q&A.
I have one question.
Hi.
Adam. In the next 2 to 3 years, is your ultimate goal to get acquired by an incumbent player or to build your own brand?
Our ultimate goal is to build our own brand and eventually to provide other people with the extracts to build their own brand too.
Have you ever built your own brand and launched a new product into a new market filled with alternatives?
Yes, I actually have a company which is based around 3D sound. We launched that in the UK, and it also works here in Thailand. It's quite competitive, but we have a unique edge, so I'm slightly familiar with doing that.
So is 500K enough to get you into the retail market?
500K for 12 months is enough for our online ambitions. In year 2, we'll be raising again, and we hope to raise significantly more to get ourselves onto high streets. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. I have another question. You said you require 2 rounds of financing. And then what do you think of what would make you can be self-sustained in the future? What is the criteria or any parameters you need to hit before you become self-sustaining?
Are you asking what we need? Can you repeat the last
Yeah.
part of that question? Thanks.
Yeah. I just, what does it take, like, what do you need to accomplish in order to be able to operate without another financing?
Well, our company, like our profit, our products are quite high margin, so we're going to turn over quite quickly. But what we really want to do is put the money into research, branding, and marketing. We have some exciting mushrooms that we're working on researching right now, which will probably have compounds that no one else has found. And that's purely because we spend a lot of time like in the jungle looking at mushrooms. So we need a little bit of money for that. But the rest is going to be branding, it's going to be marketing, it's going to be trade shows, we're going to be at festivals, and we're going to be pushing ourselves out there with influencers. Does that answer your question?
Yes. And
Okay.
another question.
Sure.
It seems like you say your secret would be the compound, but after you launch into the market, the competitor would be able to just read your instruction, your components, and then can replicate you. So
Yeah.
what did you do with that?
Yeah, it's true. You know, it's weird. There are only so many mushrooms out there, and yet when I look around, nearly all of the products taste awful. We're going to focus on building quality, good-tasting products. We're going to innovate by making them more accessible, and we're going to start including herbs along with our mushroom products, so we can have not just 8 formulas, but 20 to 30 different types. If you look at Monin, that's a really good example of a company that has about 50, 60 types of syrups, but only uses traditional fruits and herbs. We intend to do the same thing with mushrooms for our syrups.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Great presentation.
Thank you
good
so
job.
much.
Yeah.
Worked hard for that.
Thank you. Just a bit curious then, given the recent market conditions, how do you still manage on the ingredient from the supply side? Can you elaborate a bit on that?
Yeah, mushrooms are amazing that everybody wants to grow them. We get our mushrooms from Thailand, from Myanmar, and from China, but we are seeing small and medium mushroom farms grow everywhere. So we don't really have a problem with supply. Yeah, it's actually okay. The only issue is maybe just shipping and some of the global issues, but we're okay for acquiring high quality mushrooms.
Yeah. Another question would be on the market. So what would be the first 2 or 3 markets, and how's your outlook and expectation between doing the B2B or B2C model?
Yeah, so we're going to focus on the US market because we have partners who have a lot of experience selling mushroom products and related products in the USA. We're really excited by Amazon. We see that there's a huge gap for gummies and for syrups. We've done our research, and actually last year at this time, there were no mushroom gummy products. Now there are 2. So we intend to be number 1 on Amazon before the year is out, hopefully. In terms of B2C, B2B, I think it's about getting in coffee shops. So we're looking for large chains who want to stock our syrups behind the counter. So when customers come and get their cappuccino, they can offer them a shot of mushroom syrup. And if we can get 5, 6 large chains, I think we'll be in a really good position in the USA. Thanks.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And that's Adam Nicholas, CEO of Potent Mushroom Extracts. Moving along to our next team is from Terro. Here we go.
I am very enthusiastic about the work that Robert is doing with Terro. It's rare you see a company that is at such an early stage, but has accomplished so much in terms of validating a product where there is a market and a huge potential. I think Terro has the opportunity to transform a product category, and I really look forward to see and follow them and work with them during that journey. I wish Robert and Terro all the best.
Hi, do you drink beer? Do you know the beer you drink can help the world replace microplastic? That is correct. My company, Terro, creates compostable biomaterials to replace microplastic from agriculture waste. Microplastic has been found in our body. It can enter our body through the food we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe, and even the clothes we wear. This is scary, and we must act fast to stop this horrendous attack from microplastic. How do we do that? My company has created 5 patent-pending technology that can upcycle a variety of agricultural waste. Then using our proprietary technology, we convert these agricultural waste into compostable biomaterials that does no harm to our environment. The market that we're tapping into initially is the water-soluble packaging industry, which is dominated by a fossil-derived material called PVA, or also known as PVOH. This material will release microplastic into our water stream, which can eventually come back to us. By 2030, our SOM is expected to reach $1 billion. What you see here is the world's first plant protein thermoplastic made by our technology. You can also see the film on our hand. We first create these thermoplastic pellets right here from agricultural waste. Then we use the existing plastic manufacturing equipment to blow the film. And then this can be made into a variety of applications. Our material is also USDA certified bio-based product with 99% content of bio-based given margin of error. Several applications have been developed with our partners. For example, our product can be made into product label for beverage, detergent pods, bags, sachets, and even textile fiber. In fact, the t-shirt I'm wearing right now is made from agricultural waste through our technology. We have done a material comparison of our material pack beer and PVA. As you can see, our material emits much lesser CO2, 38% less CO2 compared to PVA. Once we reach commercialization, our cost is expected to be 20 to 30% cheaper than PVA. What's even more is during production process, we require around 37% lesser energy compared to PVA. Because of a unique and revolutionary technology, we have won more than 20 international awards, being participated over a dozen accelerators to expand our footprint and network. We have been able to partner with some of the largest consumer brands in the world, such as AB InBev, Unilever, Budweiser, P&G. We have also been working with Google to involve and develop the newest generation of our technology in which we can take agricultural waste and genetically engineer these bacteria into the type of protein that we want. And these protein will then be modified into biomaterials for textile, for bioplastic, and even more application. We're very excited for this new technology and partnership. One successful study case that we have done in the past with the pay pilots with AB InBev, Unilever. In fact, they both have co-financed our company. We have created the world's first bio-based detergent and laundry pod made from agricultural waste, which you can see right here. The testings of our material has come back very positive, has satisfied Unilever's expectation, and we are now looking to scale up this unique and first of its kind material with Unilever later this year. Very excited. In terms of the team, I have started 3 companies with 2 acquisitions. And my work has been recognized by Forbes and Greenpeace 30 Under 30. Our CSO has around 30 years of experience in protein engineering and chemical engineering. We also have other teammates that have industrial production experience, over 100,000 tons of production. This year, we are initiating our pilot production, aiming to reach 100 to 200 tons of production. By 2024, our goal is to reach semi-commercial production of 1,000 tons. And going forward, we're going to continue expanding our partnership and use the existing infrastructure to produce our material and scale up quickly. The future of material is super exciting, and we invite you to join us. We're going to take a variety of low-value feedstock using AI and precision fermentation to convert these feedstock into recombinant bio-based polymers. These polymers can then apply for food, for biomaterials, for ingredients, for home care products, even textile industry. The ultimate goal for Material is to become a one-stop biomaterial data solution provider for other companies. It's a win-win situation for everybody. By 2030, our goal is to upcycle 40 million tons of food waste and agricultural waste. That can help us to replace 20% of the all PVA and 15% of the all single-use plastic. As a result, we are aiming to reduce around 270 million tons of CO2 emission. We're now preparing for our pre-Series A raise that will be around $6 million. And this raise will help us to begin our pilot production and to scale up our team size and continue developing the next cutting-edge technology that the world needs. Let's drink more beer and reduce more plastic together. The decision you make today will affect the future of your children and grandchildren. Leave no mistake to that. The next time you drink beer, you'll be very proud to tell your children that mom and pop are saving the world right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Drink more beer, reduce more plastic. And now Robert is joining us via Zoom. So judges, please.
Hi, Robert. Thank you very much. A great presentation. Having invested in a 100% non-compostable kind of packaging company, can I ask you what has been your most successful kind of cases to date in terms of product and margins? I'm trying to figure out which sector you're servicing, and then what are the sectors that you've had a lot of challenges in delivering in terms of both product and margin?
Absolutely. Thank you for the question. The first market that we are focusing on is the water-soluble packaging market, which is dominated by PVA or PVOH. The most successful case study that we have done is with AB InBev and Unilever, in which we take agricultural waste and make it into a bio-based detergent and laundry pod that we can serve for Unilever, which we believe is the first of its kind. And we are very excited to say that that pilot has been successful, and now we're looking to scale up the production for that particular product. And I would say that given the natural property of protein, which is very good at dissolving, we want to focus in this industry initially before we expand to other bioplastic areas.
And your challenges? Have you had any challenges in dealing with other platforms and other products?
Yes. Well, I would say that the challenge that we're facing is like other bio-based companies, scaling up. We're still trying to figure out the logistic of sourcing the raw material, how much it will cost. And given the turbulence in supply chain in the past year or so globally, we're still trying to figure out where's the best place to scale up beyond the pilot production.
Okay, last question. Do you have sales contracts in place already, or are all pilot projects?
So after the pilot we have with Unilever, we are now in discussion with the sales contract with them.
All right. Thank you very much for the presentation. I just wondering on how do you get the plastic decomposed? A lot of bioplastic that being made today is sometimes it can be deposed in the soil in natural condition, but some of them would require some specific condition. How is your products do on the composition?
That's the question. So I think the answer to that is it depends on the application of the product. If we were to use our material as the water-soluble packaging for detergent and laundry pods, then it will dissolve in water once we washed it out. So there's no need to decompose in the soil. And if we were to package our material as, let's say, a film wrap, then the best way will be treat it as home compost or industrial compost. Obviously, there's a difference between home compost or industrial compost. Home compost actually requires a more requirements, whereas industrial composed is a set setting. And most of the bio-based solutions, such as POA, PBAT, PHA, they are more on the industrial composed, whereas ours is made from protein. It can be on home composed. It's just that the time for home composed will be longer than industrial composed.
And can you explain a bit more on the final, after decomposed, what is the material that would that be safe to the environment?
Yes, it'll break down into carbon and water.
Okay, thank you. I have no more questions.
Thank you.
A big hand, please, for Robert Liu, founder and CEO of Terro, home compostable packaging materials made from agricultural waste. Thank you very much. Up next, we have Jamulogy, healthy herbal beverage derived from the traditional holistic herbal jamu. Here we go.
My name is Jim Freilich, and I'm pleased to introduce Jamulogy, which is a company that produces an herbal drink called jamu. Jamu is a traditional medicine drink from Indonesia that dates back more than 1,000 years. Kombucha is a comparable product that has already achieved great success globally. Jamu is used to enhance energy, provide nourishment, and support digestion. I think Jamulogy has good potential. They have an age-old traditional product that is known to benefit health. They've modernized it and are marketing it to today's consumer. Jamulogy started in 2021, and they've already sold to customers in Thailand and a few other markets, including the US and Australia. I think Vanessa and the team at Jamulogy have a good product, a good marketing position, and the ability to supply large volumes. I'm sure you'll be interested in their plans to supply retailers with a good product that benefits today's consumer.
Hi all, I'm Vanessa, CEO at Jamulogy. In the world that we live in these days, everyone is very health conscious, and we're here to make living healthy accessible to everyone. Who are we? We plan to be a global jamu maker, a herbal drink that can power healthy lifestyle for busy urban customers. You know, like people living in Bangkok, Singapore, major cities like Hong Kong and New York as well. We barely have time to cook or prepare healthy meals. And I think that's where we want to step in to add value to these consumers. So there's a research that studies the behavior of consumers, preference in diets and choices. We realized that, you know, people actually care about what they eat these days. They want to eat something that can strengthen and add value to their health. And actually, out of 75% of them are willing to pay premium prices for that. You know, there's also a study that says, you know, energy, nourishment, beauty, and digestive health are among the top 3 health benefits that people are looking for. For energy, for example, I'm sure 90% of you here drink coffee every morning. And I think that's where people seek for, you know, caffeine or alternatives that can add more energy to them. Nourishment, it's in the beauty products like collagen, fish oil, and digestive health. An alternative would be kombucha and prebiotic and probiotic products, which are increasingly becoming more popular. And you know what? Jamu is something that tackles all these 3. We are really confident that turmeric and ginger would be the next generation food, power food, you know, being used in ingredients, in food or beverages in supplement form. Not because they're only, you know, immunity boosting, but they're also providing a lot of these health benefits that is shown here. People who have been drinking turmeric and ginger can feel it, but these are not proven by FDAs, but we are on the process to make that happen. If you're not familiar about jamu, jamu is a traditional, it's actually a herb in Indonesia, just like what you call samunprai in Thai. It's been around for more than 1,000 years, but you know, why it's not popular is because it's just an old kind of mindset. People think that only old people drink herbal drinks. Local Indonesians themselves don't drink jamu, but surprisingly, it's very popular among Western market, like America, Europe, and Australia. And there are many homemade makers there, just not a big scale yet. What we're trying to do is we try to disrupt that image that jamu is something traditional, something irrelevant to these days, that it's not premium. We try to modernize those and make it relevant to people these days. Aside from ready-to-drink beverages that we already launched, we also plan to launch our supplement forms in powder instant drinks and also in the form of pills as well in the future. I've just actually come back from Indonesia last night. I went there to do some market studies. We realized that we have a strong selling point compared to the local jamu makers in Indonesia in the form of ready-to-drink beverages. So the other jamu markets, brands in the market are really sweet and they have short shelf life compared to what ours is. A lot of them are homemade and they're also not FDA approved. But for us, we have our own factory that is, certified with export standards, and we are ready to scale. Just throughout a short period of time, we co-founded this in 2020, just during the pandemic, but we launched our MVPs around middle of last year. And now we are already available in 5 different markets, and also Japan and Indonesia are our next target. Our business model is direct to customers and also B2B, and a lot of our sales currently are coming from B2B offline, but to be able to sustain this for the long run, to make it scale more as a brand, it's very important to build a very strong sales pipeline to gain insights of consumer behaviors, who your audience are, who your ideal customers are as well, so you can add value on top of that. So I think that's what we are trying to do. We've come through a long way. It wasn't an easy journey. We started this during the lockdown, and there were a lot of issues with the factory running, factory building, and exporting abroad, finding new market as well. But I think we've gone quite a long way, managing to now gain paid customers, and we have a group of Jamu community who are regularly buying our products. A lot of our sales also come through non-paid ads, so a lot of it is organic. I think the most important thing of our brand is to really make people know that we exist and people out there actually love our products. Yeah, I think, like I mentioned before, in terms of our revenues, we started launching our 4 MVPs in June last year, but you can see that there's quite a huge growth, especially towards the end of the year. That's when we started to export to the US and Australia and Singapore, and these 4 markets actually did better than the Thai market itself. Jamu is not that popular in Thailand yet, but there surely is an opportunity out there. Currently, we put a halt on our exporting due to fuel surcharge and also very expensive logistic prices. But of course, like I mentioned, there's a huge potential. Indonesia is one of the markets that we are thinking of tackling, and comparable product to jamu would be kombucha. So if you rewind time back to 10 years ago, when people say kombucha, you probably don't know what they are, but these days, it's just another word. It's a coin word that everyone knows what it is. And I think that's our dream, to make jamu that comparable to kombucha as well. We have raised a few investment from angels prior to where I am today, but we also think that we want to build a stronger sales pipeline, as I mentioned, so that we can scale this bigger. Because a lot of times our sales right now come, from all over the place, and we do not gain an insight of where and what kind of consumers, which category they are from in terms of age. But I think it is a very crucial factor to put into building this into a long-term business. And also, we're also looking to hire more people, because right now our team is pretty limited, but everyone is very passionate in making this happen. And we are raising 1.5 million. In the next 6 months. And yeah, a lot of these funding would go into expanding into Indonesia. I have to be honest, there are some jamu makers who would be interested in acquiring us. That's why I flew to Indonesia the past week. But having seen the market itself, there's so much huge potential. Everything, the infrastructure, digital economy, Indonesia is so exciting right now. Everyone has, the consumer behavior has really changed. People have the power to purchase, and even though consumer products is not as sexy as industries like fintech or like other cryptos and all that, but it is something that is here to stay because we eat and drink every day, right? And if people like your brand, then they will keep on buying. We are a team of 2 people right now, and plus 8, which are the core members. So Jane and I are the co-founders. We have a dream that we want to popularize Jamu and bring this cultural heritage to the global stage, because it's been around for long, but it's been overlooked by the modern generation, and it would be such a shame if this kind of goes into extinction. So we want to make sure that we can make Jamu great again, and I hope that you can try our product. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now it's time for Q&A. I believe we have about 3 minutes left.
Hi. Great work getting actual sales from like so many countries within a short time. So great job by the team.
Thank you.
If there's one thing that you would do to try to build a larger market in Thailand, what would you do? Given that you mentioned earlier that Jamu is probably not mainstream and people don't have that awareness or trust at the moment, what would you do differently?
Right. That's why we have been constantly doing product market fit. I think if a market like Thailand if in the end we realize that Thailand is not the ideal market for us, then I think we would prioritize other markets that could help us generate more revenues. But in Thailand, we're trying to slowly educate the market. Thai people, we actually are having increasing number of sales every month from our different channels like Lemon Farm, Rimping, and small health shops in Thailand. So we see that there's a potential for that. But of course, it's not a large enough market compared to Indonesia or the United States.
Have you ever thought about adapt on your brand? For example, Jamu is very popular in Indonesia, but in Thailand, a few people would know what it is, and other country would have their own local name. So, do you think that would work if you change your brand to something people could associate with your products?
Sure. So in terms of branding, what we can do is launch different SKUs that could be more well-suited for that particular market. But in terms of the branding, I think what we're trying to really sell is a Jamu itself, because I'm part Indonesian myself and I'm proud of my country's heritage. Just like kombucha, you wouldn't call it something else. But for Jamu, it's the same. I want it to be called Jamu, but then in terms of brand positioning, it could vary throughout different market.
Thank you.
Well, if that's it, ladies and gentlemen, a big hand, please, for Vanessa Tech, CEO of Jamulogy, herbal drinks powering healthy lifestyle. And next we have eniferBio, sustainable alternative to soy protein concentrate using side streams. So let's find out more about eniferBio from the introductory video.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Chris Arndt, mentor for eniferBio, a Finnish startup that is specializing in utilizing bioethanol production process and converting them into high-value products utilizing the piccolo process. The mycoprotein produced by eniferBio is particularly interesting as it's 65% protein with a complete amino acid profile. This is significant as the global market is in dire need of new environmentally friendly protein sources for both human and animal applications. In addition, this will fit well into the Thai ecosystem as we're one of the largest producers of bioethanol in Asia, and we have a significant feed industry here in Thailand. The team at eniferBio is quite passionate and determined. This has been demonstrated by their long-term goals they have set in motion.
Hi, my name is Simo Ellila. and I'm the CEO of eniferBio. We are a biotech startup based in Finland, and we produce sustainable protein using our proprietary fermentation-based process. Why do we need proteins that are produced via fermentation? Well, the world's protein demand is set to double by the year 2050. That's because the world's population is going to grow to close to 10 billion. At the same time, a lot of people are lifted out of poverty in developing countries, changing consumption patterns. But it's obvious that this huge new demand in protein cannot be met in our old-fashioned ways of growing animals for meat and eggs and dairy, or capturing more fish from the world's oceans. So there are several alternatives how we could do this more sustainably. One is to get people to consume more vegetable proteins, and that's what is being done in cases like Beyond Meat. We could try to get people to consume insects, but that hasn't really caught on. Further into the future are things like precision fermentation and lab-grown meat, which perhaps one day could become viable. But we see that in the short and midterm, the most potential way of producing significant amounts of protein in a sustainable way is biomass fermentation, meaning cultivating microbes as a source of protein. And that's exactly what we do at eniferBio. We see more than 20 billion addressable market for our product in the segments that we target, which are aquaculture feed protein and direct human consumption of our mycoprotein. So it is a whole fungal cell mass, so our so-called per kilo protein. It's produced using our proprietary continuous fermentation process. It can be extremely efficiently dewatered using mechanical filtration, ground down and dried into an ingredient powder. What is it? Well, it's very high in protein. We have the highest levels of protein among any mycoprotein. We filed for IP how we get those levels up there between 60 and 70%, while the competition is at around 50%. The remainder of our product is mainly good quality carbohydrate, most of which is beta-glucan, having several beneficial properties. In addition, our product has smaller amounts of fat and minerals, and it's a good source of B vitamins. We're entering the booming alternative protein space from a unique and privileged position because we have behind us the history of the world's first mycoprotein production process. The per kilo process was originally developed already in the 1970s in Finland, commercialized in 1975. And what the process did is that it converted a byproduct from the pulp and paper industry into a sustainable source of protein for pigs and poultry. So this was actually done in Finland for more than 15 years at 2 sites, producing thousands of tons of protein each year. So it's a tried and tested, validated solution. We bought the original microbial strain. Because of the use history, it's now been approved throughout the European single market, and because of that also in several other jurisdictions. We've gathered a trove of information on the original plants in Finland, meaning that even though we are an early stage startup, we know exactly what an industrial scale plant would look like and what the cost structure would be, what the life cycle assessment would be. So we're ready to scale today. In addition to the history of the process, we've built our own IP, first of all, on how we get the protein levels up. On the other hand, we've adapted the process to work with a wide variety of different raw material streams. While the original process ran on pulp and paper byproducts, we can make it work with lots of different organic side streams. And we filed for IP also on how we do that. In addition, the original product was sold to pigs and poultry, while we're targeting higher value applications. First of which is aquafeed. There we've partnered with Nutreco, a world-leading feed company. They're into their second stage trials with Atlantic salmon and rainbow trout. We recently announced our partnership with Purina. They will be testing our protein ingredient in cat and dog food in the autumn. And we've also signed an R&D agreement with Valio, the leading food innovator in Finland. With them, we will be upcycling their lactose into a sustainable protein ingredient to be used in their upcoming meat alternative lineup. We've done several LCAs showing that our product has an extremely small carbon footprint compared to conventional proteins such as meat, but also South American soy. Scaling industrial production inevitably takes time, but we see that once we get going, we can tap into project finance and ramp up production in the geographies and markets that we target, reaching 1 billion in sales by 2035. What makes us different in the alternative protein space is our business model. So we only sell a protein ingredient to industry-leading companies. So we tap into existing value chains. We don't invest in any upfront product design or marketing of our own. Our production is future-proof because we have the lowest production costs and a wide raw material base, ensuring that the production of our per kilo protein stays competitive also in the future. We know that it scales because of 15 years of industrial history. It's ready to compete now on economics, but at the same time, we can still make it better, both in terms of the process performance, but also in terms of the product's properties. Today, we are a young team of 9. Our core founder team is very tech-heavy. We have experts in bioprocess engineering and fungal biology, food science, IP, business development. And now we are at a stage where we're raising our Series A funding round this year. We're targeting a 10 million raise, which will take us through the so-called novel foods process, allowing our product to be used also in direct human food use. And at the same time, this new funding will enable us to start designing and investing in our first larger scale production facility, which we aim to launch in Finland in 2025. So with that, I'd like to thank you for your attention, and we'd be more than happy to talk to any potential investors who would like to join us on our journey of revolutionizing how we produce protein. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Heikki Keskitalo, and I'm the Business Development Manager of eniferBio. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
I have a question.
Please.
Go ahead. ทางนู้นมีคำถามไหมครับ Okay, I'll go ahead first. It seems like you're a B2B play, and you're focusing on two key partners, correct? Is this validation, or is this research and development into their product platform?
It's mainly validation. With Nutreco, we are collaborating with their aquafeed daughter company called Squetting, and we produced 2 large batches of our protein using these bioethanol distillation residues as a raw material, and Squetting has performed one trial in salmon, and another one is going. So it's validating the product using actual feedstocks, and the result seems good. And after the second trial, if they are happy, they will sign an offtake agreement for a production of the whole production of the first factory, 10,000 tons. And with Valio, the Finnish dairy company, it's validating our process in upcycling their side stream from where they make lactose-free milk. We take the lactose and use it as a raw material for our per kilo fermentation process. And Valio takes our protein and they use it in their meat alternative products. So it's basically validating and building a partnership.
Okay, last question. What would cause the validation or R&D to fail?
Well, example in the Squetting case, there's going on this larger salmon feed trial, growth trial, and if for some reason the results are not that good as we are thinking, then it might be that they are not that happy with the results, and we might have to find a new partner for the aquafeed. But so far, the results have been very promising.
There are another B2C players in the market, for example, Quorn in Europe, based in UK, that they are building the microproteins as well. If your partner using your products, what do you think they would be able to achieve? What would make them produce a product that better than the other players? Could you explain on how do you help them to differentiate its products?
Good question. I think you were referring to microprotein companies that operate in business to customer, who are selling directly to customer.
Yes.
Yeah, we are a little bit different in that we are only selling our product business to business, and we are the only company who is currently producing microprotein as a powderized protein ingredient. So in the food department, our main business is business to business selling. So we sell our powderized microprotein product to food companies, which will use it in their formulations as a sustainable protein.
And would that make a difference?
The difference compared, for example, Quorn, this British microprotein company, they have their own brand, and they sell directly to customers, and their products protein content is lower. It's about 40 to 50%, and yeah, that's the main difference, that we sell as a protein ingredient to other companies. Most of the other microprotein companies, they sell directly to customers.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, right, time's up, ladies and gentlemen. A big round of applause, please, to thank the Business Development Manager, Mr. Heikki Kestitalo, and also Simo Elia, CEO of eniferBio, that develops the world's most efficient microprotein process. Up next, we have Nabsolute. That's a platform to disrupt healthcare materials. So, ladies and gentlemen, Nabsolute.
Hello, Ms. Jess Kaliber-Peterson. I've had the pleasure of working with Putimon and the rest of the amazing team at Nabsolute over the last few months. My background is mostly with tech companies and in growing organizations, and so that's really the focus I took in my work with Nabsolute. Now, over the last few months, I've been lucky to learn a lot about the opportunities that exist in that space. And when I look at the potential for Nabsolute and the products they have already developed and are developing now, I'm very excited. I think they have tons of potential. I think they're going to grow to become a leader in the space. And I strongly encourage everyone to take a close look at them and see if they might be a good opportunity for collaboration or investment, because they're an amazing company. And I have a lot of hopes for them, and I wish them all the best.
Thank you so much, Jess, for a lovely video. Hello, everyone. I'm Putimon from Nabsolute. At Nabsolute, we create a booster for better healthcare product. The concept of cosmeceutical and nutraceutical is coming. It's the cosmetics and the supplement, the vitamin with the real effect. This concept makes us question ourselves, like, is all of the cream we put on and the vitamin we took going to be as good as we believe? We can take this vitamin spot reduction serum as a case. Inside the bottle, the molecules of vitamin is floating around like this. Without protection, it's degrading every second. The rest that survive is not quite able to penetrate into the skin and make any real effect. So roughly 80% of the vitamin, the money we've been paying for, will be gone with a splash of water in the next morning. This is our solution. We modify a biopolymer to be a tiny, tiny capsule to encapsulate. I think the mic has been encapsulated. Yeah. So what we did is we modify a biopolymer to be a tiny, tiny capsule to encapsulate the active ingredient inside to help protect it, increase the penetration into the skin, into the cells, make it more efficient and more stable. With our technology, the high-end technology, the vitamin C has 11 times better absorption than without. And when comparing to other solutions in the market, the biggest one is the liposome. But you will need more than 2 components to form together in a spherical shape, like that, requiring a special equipment and precise process. That's difficult, that's expensive. But what we need is only water. Thanks to its auto-forming function, when contact with the water, our material will form and encapsulate the molecules of active ingredient inside automatically. That's faster, that's cheaper, and more stable. Another solution in the market is the PEG. It's a synthetic material, and that can cause you an allergic reaction. Our material, the main part, is mainly from the material that was similar to what's already in our body. So it's safer. Plus the ability to target the certain disease cells like cancer, immune cell. That's going to be a huge benefit on the pharmaceutical application. So in conclusion, what we offer is an easier, safer, more stable, more efficient way to deliver an active ingredient inside our body. Proven result. We can improve wide range of active ingredients, the protein, the vitamin, the herbal extract. Most of the herbal extract are not soluble in water. The problem is when it's not soluble, it's not effective. And what we can do is we can make it more soluble. The resveratrol has 3 times more soluble. The CBD, the hot issue right now, 4.5 times more soluble. The curcumin, 100 times more soluble, and that will be much, much more effective. And we also can help improve the absorption, the penetration of the vitamin C by 11 times better. And even with the growth factor, are very sensitive protein molecules and difficult to penetrate into the skin. When combining with our material, its efficacy to increase the skin firmness is double up. And the most important thing is, our material is really safe to use. We've tested in lab in humans certified as hypoallergenic, which means it's really safe to use even for the sensitive skin. Here comes the interesting part. The global cosmetic market is huge. What we focus on is the cosmetic with a real effect, the cosmeceutical market of $50 billion. And we plan to target the Asia Pacific first. It's $12 billion opportunity. The opportunity doesn't only limit to that. The food supplement, the pharmaceutical also have the same problem of unmet efficacy that our tech can solve it. These markets are huge, but it's with the big impact to change the way we fight the disease, to heal better, and the patient can live a happier life, no suffering from the side effect of the medicine, and we have a very promising result after start working on it. These are the good bits. Our technology is patented. We have a team of domain experts dedicated to this startup. Our startup is supported by the university, have a privileged access to grant. Up to now, we secure almost $1 million equity-free grant. With that part of money, we can save lots of R&D expense. And later, when we can make profit, we have a benefit of tax exempt from BOI. How we make money? We have 2 revenue streams. One from the development fee of the product with our material inside it. And after the product launch, we will have a recurring revenue from the sales of the raw materials. For example, a project of nanovitamin water to boost a higher immune function. We have a $50,000 of the development fee. And about a year later, the product in the market, we will have $150,000 for every 100,000 bottle of the vitamin water sold, and that with 70% gross profit margin. The team to make all of this happen, me as a CEO, have an experience in cosmetic and pharmaceutical business. Chitima, our CTO, he is a PhD trained in biomaterial and nanotechnology. She also has an experience in spinning off a research from the university to be a startup in US. And Cody here with Sarut, he is a PhD trained in safety about the pharmaceutical, about the new substance. And also an FDA expert reviewer of the pharmaceutical application. And we also have Vicky Vikram. He have launched and exit 2 startups. So he knows exactly how to scale to be a good startup that all investors are happy with. So far, our material is listed in the cosmetic ingredient database, and it can be used in cosmetic products internationally. For the next phase, we're going to list our material in a food ingredient database, and in 2025, there will be an F&B product with our material inside it in the market. And in 2028, there will be a pharmaceutical product with our material as a key ingredient inside in the market. At this stage, Nabsolute is looking for $1 million funding to use mainly on R&D testing, certification, and registration. So there is a big problem across healthcare industry. We have a brilliant tech to solve it. We have a team to make all of this happen. We are waiting for you to be part of it. Thank you. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Okay, I'll go first.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
Very good presentation. Thank you very much. Quick question. Does the university have any rights in your IP? Do they sit on your cap table? Or are you completely independent?
Yes, the IP that patented is solely owned by the company. Yes, and we have divided some grant, some equity for the university as a gratitude for the research and for the facility as a gratitude. That will be 10%.
And in your revenue model, are you planning to develop a platform to create your own brand, or do you simply want to develop and sell the raw material?
Thank you so much. Interesting idea. Yeah. So at this stage, we plan to collaborate with the industry, with the manufacturer. Our specialize is in the R&D, is in the ingredient. And in the industry, there are lots of the factory manufacturer in cosmetic, in food, and in pharmaceutical that needs the innovation to kind of upgrade and then launch a new SKU to add that value to the product in the market. So we think we can be that solution.
Okay, ขอบคุณครับ Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, ครับ just wondering what will be a few achievement you would like to achieve after the funding? Say, I suppose the runway will be between 1 to 2 years. What are the few priorities that you want to achieve from the funding?
Thank you, ค่ะคุณวิน With the funding, with the money, we will complete the material safety package of our material as a food ingredient and pharmaceutical ingredient as per US FDA requirement. And with that package, we will be able to list it as a food ingredient and pharmaceutical ingredient internationally.
And how is the sales pipeline look like today?
For the cosmetic products, we have a top brand in Thailand and also an OEM that manufacture for international brand like a product in the drugstore in US and in UK and also a cosmetic and also food ingredient manufacturer, like a QP, the one who do the salad thing. Yeah. And for the food product, yeah. With this program, we're talking to Thai Union and also Thai Bev. We hope we can be a partner.
How soon we can see your product in the market?
In the market, for the cosmetic product, we already have a customer who paying that will be launched within a year, and for a food product, that will be in 2025.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's it. All right. Kun Puttimon Sibonfa, CEO of Nabsolute. Thank you very much. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is a 6 team out of 8. WeavAir. It's a business that offers continuous data-driven solutions composed of multi-sensor IoT devices and predictive software to prevent food spoilage. So, without further ado, let's meet WeavAir.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, good afternoon. I'm Joan Crane, Managing Partner in Nest Thailand, and it is my privilege to introduce one of our Batch 3 cohort members, WeavAir. With the global food supply coming under growing pressure, finding more sustainable ways to manage food has become a critical priority. The team at WeavAir have developed a versatile, AI-enabled IoT sensor-based solution to monitor environmental conditions throughout the food supply chain, thereby supporting optimal energy utilization and detecting signs of spoilage so as to reduce food waste and ensure food safety. With the program partners at SpaceF, they're working on solutions to reduce food waste and improve food safety in their respective supply chains. Please join me in welcoming the founder, Natalia, for WeavAir.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here in this beautiful country, and thank you very much for being today here. My name is Natalia. I'm a co-founder and CEO of WeavAir. At WeavAir, we believe that every space, whether it's industrial food processing facility, logistics, or retail operations, can be made more sustainable and also more beneficial to our health, and we provide solutions to accomplish this. When we take a look at our systems in our building, whether it's an air conditioning system, air purifier system, or refrigeration system, did you know that over 70% of them are underperforming? There is many issues that can come up in terms of how those filtration systems filter the air, how the air conditioning are actually providing a good enough and comfort environment for everyone and also maintain in a good shape, and also for the refrigeration system to ensure that the products are always stored in the right conditions. Why is this the case? Why are the current systems not performing? Well, first of all, it's very time-consuming to gather data to maintain them. Over 6 to 12 months are spent collecting sufficient data to diagnose failures and issues that in those systems. The data is actually of limited quality. We work with hundreds of organizations, and we identify that many of the systems are not being operated correctly because of this. And finally, the data that is there is not enabling decisions. It is critical for us to take actions early to prevent expensive failures, but this is not happening. And as a result, over 16% of the investment is wasted, which is significant cost to the bottom line and significant cost to the organizations. At WeavAir, we provide a solution to this problem. We have an innovative system, a sensor platform that can be deployed across the space. It's a small detectors that can detect temperature, humidity, food freshness. They detect storage conditions, they detect operations of the mechanical system and compressors, and they do this in a predictive way. We use software that we develop in-house to analyze this data and to visualize the data to enable smarter and better and faster decisions. This decision software takes use of the sensor measurements as well as the organization and industry data to be able for you to benchmark your performance and improve it over time. This technology has been already validated with many organizations. The payback of this solution is only 6 months, and there is 20x return of investment in only 18 months. The solution is very easy to install and maintain. It can be installed in any logistics or building system. It enables a better decision and cost savings almost instantly, and it also has large impact on reducing maintenance costs, enabling energy savings, enabling productivity benefits, and increasing revenue. The revenue models for this solution is very scalable. It depends on the size of the building, and it depends on the time it's installed. It's composed of sensors, software, and certification, which enables the organization to show that their system is well managed, the food is always fresh, and their operations are carbon neutral. We already have huge opportunity for this solution, including in food processing, in logistics, in restaurant and hospitality sector. The market of this opportunity is over 300 billion. Right now, we are targeting smart facility and asset management, but in the future, there is already applications that we're doing in the ESG and data-driven cooling system design. The traction for this system is already quite impressive. We are operating in Canada, Singapore, Hong Kong, and South Korea. We have already been able to do it in only 4 years, which is allow us to create a network of customers and partners, both in the hospitality and retail space. We already installed our solution in Philippines, in Singapore, in South Korea to show the value of this product, as well as the applications in the logistics space and energy system, and finally in the construction and sensor network deployments. The revenue of this product is already scaling up, and we already have customers deploying and also interested. The projected return of investment of this product is huge. We are starting with operational spaces. We are expanding in distribution partnerships, as well as new construction and OEM solutions. We project that over 130 million annual recurring revenue will be possible through this platform-based solution just in a few years. Our team, I'm very lucky to have an excellent team with background in product development, engineering, as well as expertise in logistics areas. Our advisors have expertise in financing real estate projects, analytics, AI, as well as operations and decarbonization. We all have over 20 awards for this solution across 3 continents, including Asian Clean Energy Summit and Asian Development Bank. And we have confidence that this solution provides scalable benefits through these partnerships. Our ask today is for you to join us to make this solution scalable across Thailand, this beautiful country, and across Asia. And we are seeking 3 million to be able to achieve those goals that will lead us to generate 5 million in revenue in the next 18 months. We will be putting this into team growth, our geographical expansion, and our company sales. We are also very much looking forward to working with you as a partner, as a pilot partner or distribution partner, so please don't hesitate to approach us. I would like to invite you today to be a part of one of the biggest modern trends right now, which is how do we make our spaces healthier and more sustainable? With your support, we can reduce downtime and repair costs, reduce GHG emissions, improve health, and establish a new global standard. Thank you very much, and please join us to make future-proof and scalable spaces that are sustainable at scale. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalia. And now Q&A.
I'll go first again. ARR of 3+ million, and you have 30+ in the waiting list. I guess my question is there a bottleneck of some sort?
Thank you for the question. In fact, we already have a lot of demand, as you have seen. There is, of course, some challenges to distribute the solution. We are currently very quickly growing our distribution network because with strong partnerships like system integrator, like installation partners, will help us to much more quickly to distribute this in all the different facilities, like I mentioned, the retail, the warehouse, the building automation solutions. So this is the main bottleneck is financing. So with enough financing, we can grow this company and distribution network much quickly, and also to have to increase our partnership network more quickly. So this is the only bottleneck is the financing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
My question would be when you selling to new customers that has probably have a new facility, a different approach, and new way of work. What needs to be done on your side in order to like adapt your solution to each customer? And is that like require any additional cost to do that?
Great question, thank you. So in order for us to adapt the solution, we only need between 2 and 4 weeks of monitoring of the space to gather and kind of adjust the software for the specific application. Especially if it's a new application. We already have over 10 years of historical data on different compressors and different refrigeration systems that we are building upon. But of course, every building is different and every system is slightly different. So in order for us to make the best insights, it needs some adjustment. However, in terms of the time savings, it is almost instantaneous. So already the organizations that have been deploying the system have been coming back and telling us we have saved them 30% of their time, 40% of their time just managing the systems, because through our platform they can also digitize many of their current manual processes which are paper-based, which allows them to really speed up their productivity, really optimize how their team is identifying potential issues and solving them more quickly. So even though there is some ramp-up time, the benefit, the ROI starts very quickly.
Okay.
Thank you.
And for the performance of your solutions, do you be able to like provide any like performance quality for your client?
Yes, definitely. We are able to share the data from our case studies, for example, and we can show them in the demo the value the system provides. Sorry, your question was to performance of the system in the past project or in their facility?
In
sure.
either. In
either,
both
yeah.
of them.
Yes, please approach me after this presentation. I'm very happy to share with you our case studies, what value we were able to show to our clients, and also how we are very happy to do a test at your buildings, whether it's industrial or commercial. So please don't hesitate to approach us. We'll definitely share the value with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And that was Natalia Mikhailova, CEO of WeavAir. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, we're proud to present our next team, EnerGaia, that specializes in making healthy and sustainable foods from the world's oldest alternative protein, that is spirulina. So here's the introductory video.
Our next speaker, Saumil, is the founder of EnerGaia. EnerGaia is a spirulina company that's been slowly cooking for the last 10 years and is now looking to go mainstream. I have had the pleasure of being Saumil's mentor for the past 6 months or so. Together, we have been looking into the growth strategy of the company and, to my favorite subject, how to increase the sales. I'm really excited about the current position of EnerGaia, and I sincerely hope that the F&B companies in the audience today can see the rising potential of EnerGaia.
Hi, everyone. My name is Samil Shah. I'm the Managing Director of EnerGaia, and I'm excited to tell you about how we are enabling the spirulina revolution. So your first question is probably, what is spirulina? Well, the answer is it's a microalgae that's 3.5 billion years old. In fact, it's the world's oldest alternative protein, and it is a true superfood full of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and 67% protein. All that provides tremendous health benefits to consumers, from boosting the immune system, helping to fight cancer, having anti-inflammatory properties, helping to regulate blood sugar levels, and many, many others. And it's also very, very sustainable. It produces oxygen and consumes CO2 because it's photosynthetic, just like plants. And it's so water efficient that to produce 1 kilo of protein from spirulina requires 400 times less water than to produce 1 kilo of protein from beef. So what's the problem? Well, consumers and food manufacturers think that all spirulina tastes bad, smells bad, or is too green in color to be used in mainstream food products. But we have the solution. Using our proprietary technology, where we pick the best spirulina cells from our strain library, grow in our closed tank proprietary bioreactor system, use our patented post-harvest processing techniques that give us the most living cells and the longest shelf life of spirulina in the industry, and with our strategic partnerships with R&D and innovation labs where we can remove the green color from spirulina. And in fact, as you can see on the picture above photo 4, we can actually provide spirulina in almost any shade of color needed for a food application in the industry. From all that, we can produce a delicious odor-free spirulina that can even have the green color removed. So we solve all of the problems. What do we do with this great spirulina? Well, today we make a wide range of food products, not just the traditional ones of spirulina powder, tablets, capsules, or fresh and frozen spirulina that other producers make, but we also have functional foods such as pasta, noodles, and snacks with spirulina that we sell under our own Spring Spirulina brand today, as well as offer white label and private label. So in terms of the market, today spirulina is a $407 million market per year. But $387 million that doesn't care about taste or smell because it's tablets or capsules, animal feed, or raw material that goes to a big company to extract phycocyanin, which is a natural blue food colorant used in the confectionery business. Only about $20 million of today's market prioritizes taste or smell because it goes into food and beverage applications. However, like other premium spirulina producers, we think there's a tremendous opportunity in the future by creating a new category for spirulina as a functional food and beverage ingredient to the tune of about $1.4 billion per year. So in terms of competition, we have the best taste at a low cost because of our patented processes. So the lowest cost producers are bulk producers out of China, where they produce more than 50% of the world's spirulina, but they use it for those applications I mentioned earlier. So they produce it in large open raceway ponds where anything can fall in and contaminate the spirulina, and that's okay for them because they don't prioritize taste or smell. Then there's a handful of premium spirulina producers around the world that focus on frozen spirulina, but they're super expensive. So we're cheaper than them, but we produce the best tasting spirulina on the planet. So how do we make money? Well, after we grow the spirulina either at our own farms or partner farms or using a contract farming model that we developed for rural community applications together with the Gates Foundation, WWF, and USAID, we take the spirulina we produce and we either sell it as a bulk ingredient to food manufacturers, or we sell those finished food products that I showed earlier through our global network of distributors. What makes us unique? Well, because of our patent, we can provide spirulina that has 4 times the shelf life of all those competitors I showed you earlier. And not only that, but when we use our spirulina as a functional ingredient in finished food products like pasta, that product has 2 times the shelf life of a non-spirulina version. So our pasta has 2 times the shelf life of a normal pasta. And with our processes, we have a 70% lower production cost than those premium spirulina producers I showed on the competition slide. So we have a team of highly experienced managers, advisors, and board members helping us make our vision a reality. And from a traction perspective, I'm an engineer. I used to work at General Electric, and I'm an environmentalist. I was inspired by algae back in 2008 to try to reduce CO2 emissions from power plants. So I bootstrapped the initial technology development of our bioreactor system in 2009 until 2011, and we were on the verge of raising funds from a UK VC who needed to see our pilot plant in operation, but then our pilot plant was destroyed by some historical flooding, 100-year flooding in Thailand that happened, and you can see that in the picture. So what did I do? I moved all of our production to downtown Bangkok and put it high up on the 20th floor of a rooftop so I'd never be flooded again. But I also had to get a job to help pay the bills and do this as a side gig because I still believed, but I needed to pay the bills. So the good news is we made some more progress and refined our technology and got a lot of publicity from that rooftop farm. And then we closed a seed round in 2018 with a VC fund out of the Netherlands that allowed us to scale up production and register our patent and start forming strategic partnerships with innovation labs, distributors, and other producers around the world. And that leads us to today, where we're really focused on growing B2B sales by working with big corporations and making interesting and new breakthrough food products. For example, the picture here is a plant-based shrimp product that we co-created using spirulina in the batter with Thai Union, one of the sponsors of SpaceF that's here today. We're also in the process of opening a new spirulina farm in the southern United States, specifically in Florida, to deliver fresh spirulina to a large distributor that's asked us to produce for them. So where does that leave us? Well, where we're here today to ask for is help from corporations to co-create new breakthrough spirulina products to help unlock the full potential of spirulina. So we're seeking partners to work with us over the next 12 to 18 months to bring those products to fruition and then test them in the market. So that's all I have. Thank you very much. I would welcome any questions, and I'm excited to hopefully continue speaking with several of you about forming collaborative partnerships to help us by joining the spirulina revolution and bringing new breakthrough products to market.
Thank you. And now to the panel of experts, Q&A time.
Thanks, Emil, for the insightful presentation on spirulina. So I get to eat spirulina 3-4 times a week without any choice because my wife makes a superfood blend. So I actually know what it is. But I've always wondered how she chooses it. And I have no idea because on the shelf there's 10 different superfood ingredients that go into this thing that I have to drink in the morning. And the only thing I can distinguish that's different is it says organic. and as you know, all the other ingredients, they all say the same thing. It's either just turmeric or mushroom or spirulina or whatever. I guess, I don't know how she chooses it, but I'm kind of wondering, in your play, it's a B2B play to develop products at a larger scale, to come up with something like maybe Vegemite, where you have to eat it every morning as a breakfast or something. Is that correct? Is that where you're heading? You want to create a product that becomes something that's consumed, because it tastes good with whatever you combine it with, and it becomes a preferred, I guess, part of your food as opposed to just an ingredient. Is that correct? And you're looking for partners in different areas to come and develop with you. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. So, if we look at other superfoods, avocados were relatively unknown until the U.S. Avocado Association banded together and really determined or tried to think of ways to get it into the mainstream. And they came up with ideas like avocado on toast and putting avocado into guacamole. And then consumers liked those applications and it started to become mainstream. And acai was really unknown until somebody had the idea of starting to put it in smoothie bowls, and the vibrant color and the nutritional benefits and talking about the antioxidants started to get it to be really known as a superfood, but the application in a smoothie bowl was what really kind of kicked it off, right? So spirulina has been around for a long time. It was rediscovered in the 1950s by a French scientist traveling around Africa, characterizing malnutrition, and he got to the shores of Lake Chad, and he was astounded by the fact that the people on the shores of Lake Chad were healthier than his home country people in France, in terms of nutritional health and disease. And he stayed there for a little while to try to understand why. And he saw them pulling out this green mud from Lake Chad, drying it on the sands of the shores around it, and then eating it as a cracker. And so what that was is spirulina. And he learned about it and he brought it back to France. And France is one of the largest consumers of spirulina now because they have this long tradition of knowing about it from the scientists. So people who know spirulina know how good it is for them. However, 80 to 90% of the spirulina on the market doesn't taste good. So that smoothie, that superfood blend you're forced to have because your wife makes it every day, it may or may not taste very good. But a lot of people experience a spirulina that doesn't taste very good. And that's a barrier for us, but it's a perception barrier in a way, because if you take the time to produce it well, it has a neutral taste and smell, or a good taste and smell. We have a lot of people who use our spirulina paste, a fresh one, like Vegemite. They put it on crackers and chips. So we want to work with corporates to show that a good quality spirulina can not impact the bad taste, this taste or smell adversely, but can maybe either make a smoothie bowl green instead of purple, or can be used in some other clever application that can become mainstream, exactly as you pointed out.
Thank you.
Well then, any further question? We do have a bit of time. Oh, he's gone. All right. Okay. How about we say thank you to Mr. Samuel Shah, the MD of EnerGaia, with a big round of applause. All right, moving on to the 8th and final team to present today. We have more meat, sustainable plant-based protein. So let's get to know more from this video.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bart Bellers, the CEO of Expedite Capital Partners. Let me introduce you to More Foods. More Foods is a Thai startup headed by an awesome founder. Mini is on a mission to save the planet by making more delicious, sustainable, and healthier food. Back in 2020, as part of the Space F1 incubator program, Mini pitched their vision for a plant-based protein made from locally sourced mushrooms. Today, this vision has turned into a real business, with products available in over 200 stores and restaurants across Thailand. More Foods is ready to scale. So now it's up to you, investors. It's time to write a check and join Mini on a mission. So last but not least, Mini, the stage is yours.
Audience, hello again. I'm Minnie, the CEO and co-founder of More Foods. We are a Thailand-based plant-based food company located here in Thailand and also recently incorporated in Singapore to help us expand our initiatives to create more foods that are better for our consumers' health, the local community, and our planet. I think many of us in this auditorium may already know the devastating consequences in the way that we're producing our food today, which is unsustainable and inefficient. In fact, we're using much more than 60% of our available agricultural land today to produce food products that actually goes to waste and being eaten by us. We're investing so much of our land and resource into livestock production when only 17% of our food comes from these animals. This is why we are firm believers that plant-based food is the future, and we can provide you the best solution with our product, More Meat. More Meat is more sustainable because we use locally sourced ingredients that are made of plants and fungi. They use less land and resources for them to grow. And in combination, we leverage advanced technology in protein modification and deep tech like AI to really bring out the great elements and properties in these plants, combining them together to create a well-designed and efficient food sauce such as More Meat, which is not only nutritious, but also as tasty as your regular meat. We work in alignment with the UN SDG goals to help us track and trace our sustainable initiatives, and we support smaller producer groups to create more incomes and jobs to the community. We also encourage sustainable agriculture as well as sustainable farming to improve the biodiversity as well as our land and ecosystem. We work with nonprofit organizations to help us make nutritious food more accessible throughout. And today, we have 3 product lines. The first product is the unseasoned mince, which is mushroom-based, low in sodium, and only contains one food additive, making the more meat unseasoned mince one of the cleanest plant-based meat available on the market. Our second product line is the ready-to-cook line that we will be launching soon, and they feature ethnic comfort foods, which guarantees customer deliciousness as well as convenience. It's also a value for money where customers can save up on buying fresh grocery as well as helping tackle food waste. And our newest product and technology is the 3D tenderloin, which uses a patented technology. It uses genetic algorithm to help us optimize the shape and texture of our plant-based meat. This could improve not only the cooking experience, but also the mouthfeel and the chewiness of when you bite into your plant-based meat. This product will be commercially available next year, whereas 2 of our product lines are already available in 200 stores in Thailand, and we work in collaborations with food manufacturers as well as restaurants who uses more meat as their base ingredients. Since our launch in 2020, we have built a great reputation and a loyal customer base with a retention rate of 68% and putting us on track to reaching $300,000 in revenue this year. And with all our new products, we are already listed to be sold in major retails, and we have met with potential clients from around the world who are interested to bring our products to the country. This is why we are raising $1 million to help us expand our market and increase our sales in 2 major markets. We have already started in Singapore, where we're working with our partners to help us build our distribution channels as well as our brand exposure. We are currently a small but a well-equipped team who are specialized in different set of skills, and we are all very, very passionate and dedicated to making food innovation and sustainability happen. Today, we are looking for investors and also like-minded partners who can help us create this change together with. And thank you so much. Looking forward to any questions during Q&A.
All right, to the panel of experts, please.
Thank you for your presentation. Most of the alternative protein in the market, they are quite pricey. They are like more expensive than conventional meat. So what is your plan on how to make it more affordable to the many?
That's a great question. Right now, our product is actually priced at really similar levels as premium, let's say meat like pork, or which doesn't really get off scale. But I think one of the main plan to make the price even cheaper or more accessible is to improve the technology part. For example, the technology that we're using at the moment in our tenderloin will actually make plant-based meat products more cost-effective because it is a more automated line that uses less manpower, and it's more automated. So in that way, it will require less manpower to kind of produce the product. So I think in that way, we can really use technology in food to help us make a better quality source of food source and also lower the cost in production.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Hi, just because the pitch time is quite limited, so I was thinking I would like to give you some more time to share to all of us in the audience a little story behind why split gill mushroom. I thought that would be helpful.
Thank you so much, Kunubin. Thank you. So actually, the split gill mushroom, which you can see here, is one of our current ingredient that we use in the unseasoned mince. And this mushroom is so amazing because we're actually sourcing it from our community in the southern part of Thailand, and they're packed with bioactive compounds like beta-glucan, which could prove to improve the immune system as well as brain functions. And the reason that we're using it is that not only is it good for our local community, but we're able to really add value to local Thai crops, and in a sense, we can encourage our people to explore more plant ingredients or fungi, which are more sustainable, as well as being packed with amazing bioactive properties. So that's one of the main reasons we chose split gill mushroom in our unseasoned mints.
Yeah, I have a question about kind of going to market. Is it necessary just to go to market in Thailand? Does it make sense to just go abroad? So nowadays we see a lot of regional, local products. Even Jamu. I was going to ask Jamu earlier if their sales is in the U.S. is good. Why not just take it overseas, build a community, and a lot of times the Thai market will be much more receptive when it's proven overseas, and your product doesn't really have any boundaries, right?
That's a great question, and maybe I'll answer this for our company, and maybe Jamu can later give her view. But with that sense, I think you are right. The Thai market, even though it's a great market to start with, is quite small. That is why we're actually trying to expand out of Thailand. The reason that we decided to start in Thailand is because we really want to create good food that our local people can have. Because at the time we started, there were only imported plant-based meats, which, for example, like Beyond and, all these products, and they're really, really pricey. They're at least like 300 baht, and it's not accessible for Thai people to have every day, to have actually even to try plant-based meat in the everyday life. So one of our mission is how can we make plant-based meats accessible, and how can we make it possible for our consumers to have it every day. So it has to be healthy as well as good at a good price. So that is the reason we wanted to kind of give an opportunity for Thai consumers to have something that is good for their health, as well as trying something that is innovative. And that is why we decided to start in Thailand. But now that the market is really going, we want to bring this innovation and also the story of amazing exotic Thai plants to the world, because as the beginning, we are great in agriculture. We have a lot of ingredients, but we're wanting to build on that innovation and bringing Thai innovation in food and agriculture to the rest of the world, to show that we have great products here as well.
All right.
Thank
a big
you.
round of applause, please, for the CEO of More Meat, Kun Mini. Thank you very much. And those were the startup pitches at the Space F Batch 3 Accelerator Demo Day. Excellent presentations indeed. We learned a lot. Not only have we become more knowledgeable about the interesting things like alternative proteins, functional ingredients, novel food safety, but I believe that we also got to realize the passion and commitment of these startups towards their innovative solutions. And now it's time for the closing moment that will underscore the importance of global food sustainability and cohesive collaboration in feeding the world through innovation. So next, may I call upon Kun Tongchai Thanachanan, Senior Vice President, Chief Sustainable Business Development of Thai Beverage Public Company Limited, to deliver her sporting remarks on stage. A big round of applause, please, to warmly welcome Kun Tongchai.
Good afternoon, Ka. First of all, I would like to congratulate each of the 8 startups here today for the impressive presentation and successful completion of SpaceF Batch 3 Accelerator program. We hope that the knowledge, experience sharing, coaching, and networking opportunities gained through this program will help expedite the commercialization of your product and services towards your goals. We are also delighted that all the startups in this batch are coming from a broad range of innovative food and beverage sectors, whether it be health and wellness, waste management and recycling, energy saving, or even deep tech. We are confident that such a diverse group of innovation will serve as a solid platform to drive Thailand's food and beverage industry to rise to global prominence. ThaiBev is proud to be part of SpaceF program once again this year. With our mission to creating and sharing the value of growth, we see SpaceF as an important platform to push forward several of UN Sustainable Development Goals, including no hunger, good health and well-being, responsible consumption and production, as well as climate change. Through our collaboration with startups which are relevant to our business, we hope to be able to assist you to succeed while supporting the sustainable development journey of our country and of ASEAN region. Once again, thank you to SpaceF program and particularly to Thai Union for creating such a great program. I wish SpaceF and all the startups in the program a continued success. Thank you, Ka.
Thank you very much. คุณต้องใจ ธนชานันท์ Senior Vice President, Chief Sustainable Business Development of Thai Beverage Public Company Limited. Thank you for the remarks and also making things pretty crystal clear in terms of the vision to help drive the food and beverage industry at the regional level and the solid support given to the project as always. Last but not least, I'd like to invite Professor Dr. Pattarachai Kiratisin, Vice President for Research of Mahidol University, to present his supporting remarks. Professor Pattarachai cannot be here in person, but has his message for us via video. So let's have a look.
Co-founders and partners, startup delegates, and honorable guests, Mahidol University is very proud to be a part of the SpaceF Accelerator program. The challenging time in the past few years as we strive to get through the pandemic situations and prove that the world will never be the same. Food technologies are changing fast as well and are among important missions, as we say in our mottos, feed the world through innovation. Let's look at those difficulties and the lessons to make we grow up together. We have learned to manage our lives and businesses in a way that we have never done before. This could be a part of making innovations. Better things often comes after a disruptions if we do not give up. Today, we are very pleased to see our delegates demonstrating their ambitions to make steps closer to their destinations. We have 8 startups from 4 countries in different aspects of food technologies, including manufacturing, packaging, and safety. They have been working very hard throughout our Accelerator program. We are very proud of you and look forward to see further success of your businesses. This demo day is an important milestone that each startup can shape up their goals and be inspired by our experts and commentators. I do hope that all teams have a great experience for joining our SpaceF Accelerator program in the past several months. On behalf of Mahidol University, I would like to express my gratitude to our co-founders, NIA and Thai Unions, and our partners, ThaiBev and Deloitte, including our staff for their dedications to support these valuable programs and putting everything together for our startup teams. We will continue to watch our startup alumni for their successful futures. Keep moving and enjoy your dreams as it's come true. Good luck and thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Pattarachai Kiratisin, Vice President for Research of Mahidol University. Thank you so much for those closing remarks. And it's about time that we all have been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, that is to network and mingle exclusively at the multifunction hall in front of the auditorium. That's where startups, corporates, and investors can head out to. So do not hesitate to ask more questions and get to know the startups a little bit better. So we have come to the very end of today's program. On behalf of the organizers, thank you so much for your kind support, your participation throughout this afternoon. And I do hope that the event today will ignite the fire and the passion within you to help grow and revolutionize the food industry. So once again, thanks to our supporters, to our panel of experts, thanks to our forward-thinking entrepreneurs, thanks to all of you for joining. A big hand, please, for everyone, and wishing you the very best and all the success. เอาละค่ะทั้งหมดนี้ก็คือการจัดงานในวันนี้นะคะก็หวังว่าจะได้ประโยชน์แล้วก็เป็นแรงบันดาลใจให้กับทุกท่านในช่วงต่อไปค่ะเรียนเชิญที่ Multifunction Hall ด้านหน้า ห้องออดิทอเรียมได้เลยนะคะถือโอกาสในการพบปะพูดคุยกับเหล่าสตาร์ทอัพแล้วก็นักลงทุนกันนะคะขอบคุณทุกท่านอีกครั้งหนึ่งค่ะแล้วเจอกันใหม่ในโอกาสหน้านะคะวันนี้ฮันนี่ลาไปก่อนสวัสดีค่ะ